Hello soulmates, welcome back to my YouTube channel. In today's video, I'll be teaching you 3 practical ways to fix a zipper bulge on your dress. So if you're a beginner or not and you still experience zip bulge, don't worry, fear not, I have the solution for you. So without wasting much time, let's get started. So what can cause this zip bulging? So from my experience, I noticed that when the half length of the dress is too long, it causes zip bulge, or when there is not that at all on the bodies of the dress, it can cause zip bulging. So another thing that can cause zip bulging is when there is a stretch at the zipper region when fixing on a stretchy fabric or not. If there is a stretch at that region, it can cause zip bulging. So since we've mentioned the things that can cause zip bulging, then how do we prevent this zip bulging? So number one is to dart your bodies. Make sure you add that to the necessary area. And another thing I do is to also add that at this zipper area, which I'll be showing you now. So I have two patterns here. This is the bigger one is like a blouse pattern, while this smaller one is like an half length pattern. So let's assume this back pattern for this blouse does not have a zipper allowance yet, but you will still add it when transferring this pattern to your fabric. So you go in by half inches here or 3/4, then you go up by about 4 inches or 5 inches, then you also go down by 5 inches downward, then you make something that looks like a dart at this area. So you just make it like a dart, just connect like this. And you connect it like this. You know the back pattern is always two, so when you place the two together, it will form something like a dart that is in between this pattern. So when you are done, the next thing is to cut this out. So let me just use my marker to glue this out first before we cut it out. So when you are done, the next thing to do is to cut this part out. Then if you notice that what you took out here will affect your measurement, so what I usually do is to add this back to the waist area. So the half inch I took out, I will add it back, then I'll just blend it back inside like this. So I'll blend it inside like this. So from this, as you can see, that it does not affect my pattern in any way. It does not affect the pattern. So this previous line is not necessary again, so we'll be cutting the new line. So you go ahead and cut this part out because we do not need this part. You cut it out, then when you are transferring this to your fabric and you're adding your zipper allowance, so you take note of what we took out there, then you transfer. So let's move to this half length measurement. As you can see, this is an half length measurement. So what you will do is also similar to what we did. So at the end of the pattern, you take out half inch inward, you measure half inch inward, then after that you also measure like 4 to 5 inch upward, then you just roll this in just like this. So you just roll it like this, and like I said earlier, if you know what you took out here will affect your overall measurement, just add it back. That is not a problem. So add it back, then you blend it into your side bodies, into the side. So with this, I'm sure it will prevent zip bulging. So this is just the first out of the 3 methods I use. So you cut this out, then you also cut this new line. So you cut this new line, then you go ahead and cut your pattern. So the second method is to measure your accurate back waist length. Most people don't measure this and they use the front waist length for the back, which is always longer. So if you've not been measuring your back waist length, please start measuring it now, and when you are drafting your back bodies, always use the back waist length because it is always shorter than the front, and when you are using the longer part, it will cause zip bulging. So that is one of the things that also causes zip bulging. So the third method is when you are working with a stretchy fabric and you notice something like this. What I usually do is to add a facing at the zipper area where I'll be fixing the zip. So I'll add facing just like this. As you can see, it is just little, not to the entire fabric. So when you add it like this, then you go ahead and sew your zipper. With that, I'm very sure the zip bulging will not happen. So thank you so much for watching. If you haven't liked this video, please like, comment, share, subscribe, and you can also let us know the ways you also prevent zip bulging. Thank you.